All right. So as I said, this past weekend, I put out a survey of 15 different questions covering a lot of topics. I'm asking women to answer, and these are basically how they feel about men, right? And we got 40 responses, so we have a good, healthy group of women to talk about their answers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say what the question is, and then I'm going to ask you guys what do you think that the popular answer was. Okay?
Are we keeping score?
We should keep score, but I ain't got no pad or pen. Now these cover a lot of different topics, and plus we're gonna have an all-female episode in a couple of weeks. Both Danielle Booth as well as So Steph will be on the show. So some of these similar questions will be asked to those ladies, and then we're gonna do a panel of men. So we're gonna ask you guys too to do the survey when I put that in. All right, so here we go. First question, and we'll start off with Josh. Okay, I should do this like what's that show like Family Feud where it's like 100 people were asked and So the first question was, which one of these qualities would you say is the most important in finding a potential mate? Okay, these are women asked about men. These are all women asked about men. All right. So which one of these are the most important? A, intelligence. B, high character. C, attractiveness. D, great in bed. And E, financially stable. So what do you think the ladies voted for, Josh?
I was instantly going to go to sense of humor. That's always the answer, isn't it? No matter how true it is, it's always the answer.
That's why I left it out.
Can you run those answers back?
Sure. It's A, intelligence. B, high character. C, attractive. D, great in bed. And E, financially stable.
What
was this anonymous?
A racial demographic of these women?
Most of them were African American, but some of them were Caucasian. I would say maybe 12 of the 40 were Caucasian, and the others were sisters.
Okay.
Was it an anonymous survey?
Nobody's name is attached to it.
Okay, then I'm going to say great in bed. If people are going to be honest.
Final answer. All right, great in bed. All right, what about you, Aaron? What did you think the lady said?
E.
Oh, financially stable? Okay. And what about you, Rasheen? Because we want to get what you think.
I was so sure that it was high character until you said financially stable. That's kind of a big deal. So if the thing had to tip me in either direction, I would say financially stable would win with sisters, with the demographic being that. So,
I would too.
Okay, well, actually, B, high character was number one.
High character with black women.
I know.
I think the real answer is we found people rely on anonymous surveys too.
I can't believe it. Wait, Kente, did you tell them that they were going to win a date or something? Like, why did y'all put?
No, number two was intelligence, and stable was 3. And
these are the women I need to be with because they know how to pick them good. Because I'm sorry, Rashi, I don't want to ask black women, but a lot of these other sisters out here with Tyrone and Fuquan and they over here. They should have took the survey.
Well, I don't know about them sisters, but the ones that we asked, I could see them saying that. Now, I want to we're going to kind of go a little deeper into that, though. I would agree that financially stable seems to be. I think women crave security overall more than anything, knowing that let's say if they don't work anymore, that they're not going to be homeless. You know, like right? Because I always feel like especially when you get a certain age, like when you're in your 20s, like you're both kind of growing together. You're both trying to establish yourself, you know, financially and stuff like that. Maybe you just got out of school, so I can understand that. But when you get a certain age, though, you know, like to me, why make a lateral move if you're a woman getting married? Like, you know, you want to have a guy that can, you know, that you ain't gonna be homeless. You know,
how much too the age plays the impact, because I'm thinking just the opposite, Kente. I'm thinking maybe the older you are, the less that matters because you're more established yourself.
yeah, but do you want somebody broker than you though?
I don't. So let's say, so if I was making
That shouldn't matter.
if I was making 6 figures and I can handle all the bills, I wouldn't mind that you make less. I wouldn't
Well, I mean,
you to not have a job at all, but you making less than me, I would.
well, not really less like that, but I mean, like he has to bring something to the table.
Oh yeah,
you know?
of course. Like I would want them to bring something to the table financially, as you say. But them making less than me wouldn't be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, but you want to know.
But see, but wait, hold on. You just said say that again. You said you want them to bring something to the table. So that's something. What is that something? Meaning they if he can make less, meaning okay, you making 100, can he make 30?
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
something.
I mean, all the other things that I like in a person, and he just makes less money, but he goes to work, he gets up, he goes to work every day. He's, you know, a good paternal partner. You know, I mean, all of those other boxes check that I care about, and he just makes less money than me. Like I'm not gonna. That's not gonna be the deal breaker for me.
I'm not saying you make $100,000 and he makes 85,000. I mean, like, I'm talking about like you make cake and he's baking.
See, the thing is, if I make that much, then how much he make isn't gonna have that much of an impact. It's on if I'm struggling and he's not making that. That's when that matter. That's when I feel like how much he make it matters more.
I feel like most women though, I feel like most women want an equal more than they want somebody that's below them or whatever. I think most women want an equal or at least close to it. That's what I've seen. Like guys don't seem to.
And this way I sound like I know something. I think women pick their men like they pick their purses. They like I'm not an accessory. I think about it. Yeah, get it. I shouldn't have to match you. I shouldn't have to match you. It's different, or it's just different.
Right. Yeah.
You get it when you really think about it.
I got it.
So what if a dude makes less? And I'm not talking to you, Rashi. I'm talking to everybody else. So what if a dude makes less? You make all the money. Why your man got to make all the money too? You looking for something? You should be looking for something different than just a guy with a big bank account.
Yeah, I will agree with
if you like Rasheem,
I agree with Aaron. I don't want the same. I want compatibility. So if my goal is to have a household income of 150 grand and I make 100 grand and he makes 50 grand, then we meet that. I don't need him to be the same as me. I need compatibility. That's just me.
Ari says, wait, don't men do that? They pick chicks based on what make them look good. Some do, yeah.
No.
Some do.
Well, some do.
Yeah.
Personally, no.
All right. Okay, so moving right along. The second question is, which of these qualities would you say is the least important in finding a potential mate? Once again, the same questions. Answers: A, intelligence; B, high character; C, attractiveness; D, great in bed; and E, financially stable. So we're going to start off with you, Aaron. What do you think they said was the least important?
Just because you picked the best 40 women in the history of the world, I'm gonna say financially stable, just to give like get on the just to get on the board.
All right, what about you, Josh?
You know what? I feel so embarrassed about the last question. I'm just gonna let it ride. Great in bed.
Okay. And what about you, Rasheen?
C.
That's great in bed, right?
Rasheen is right. No, it's attractive. That got 45% of the vote is attractiveness. They said that was the least. They said second was financially stable was the least, which is very surprising. And then they said was third least important. And it says intelligence was fourth. And then, okay, so I don't know.
Look at Steph.
Baby, that.
Steph said I'm laughing at what she said.
That's hilarious. So attractive, they said, is the least important. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
Okay, now, so the rest of the questions are all yes and no. So only two options. All right. Okay, so question number 3: is it important that a potential mate have to share your views on religion? Okay, so once again, is it important that your potential mate have to share your same views on religion? So it's yes or no. So we'll start off with you, Josh. What do you think women said?
I think women said yes.
Okay. What about you, Aaron?
I think they said yes.
And Rashid?
I think they said yes.
Okay. It was very narrow margin, but 52% of the ladies said yes, that it's very important that they share their views. Somebody even wrote a comment, possibly can't be judgmental, must be flexible in giving choices to kids, not one option for faith. Well, I guess so with that. And okay, so let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, right? I'm gonna ask the guys this question too. I don't know if you guys are religious at all, but for me, I find that if there's a gulf there as far as the way that religious wise, it can be problematic. Especially if you guys have completely different views on religion. To me, it's like. I think it's pretty core to your belief system on your religion. So I would find it hard to. I'm not the most religious cat in the world, right? But if you are to date someone who's maybe like an atheist or Satan worshiper or whatever, it seems like it'd be a big deal. But I was wondering, Josh, I don't know. Are you religious at all?
No, not even a little.
So when would you date somebody who is, though?
It depends on how religious you're talking about. Because, there's, okay, go to church on Sundays, Sunday morning, and say, using Christianity as an example. But there's also, like, Westboro. So.
That's extreme.
I think it all depends on where on the scale they lie.
Oh yeah, I've dated a fanatical person before. I dated someone who became fanatical. Like she kind of went to church, and then she got this position at the church she went to. She became the what do you call the youth pastor? Yeah, and then she just became like this real fanatical religious person, and it changed our relationship. I often said Jesus stole my girl because she got really fanatical. It's so funny. Me and her.
He tend to do that.
He did. He definitely did. So I don't know. What about you, Aaron? Are you, is the religious thing important to you?
Not really. As long as there's like guidelines, do's and don'ts when it comes to it, I'm completely open about it. Like, you don't have to practice my religion as long as you don't change it up on me in a relationship. Like, you can't practice my religion when I meet you. Then, oh, I want to be atheist today.
Right.
No, that's not. That's gotta call it quits there. But I wouldn't disrespect someone that I'm with, like religion. Like, that gotta be guidelines of everything.
You know, too. Also, too, the piece is when you have children, like, you know, that's a big thing. Is like how you're going to raise your kids as far as religion wise. You know, some people just work it out. There's no issue there. But I don't know, like the interfaith thing. Like, I don't know about you, Rashim. Are you
Good question.
Am I a religious person? Not in the traditional sense of religion. Like, I wouldn't say like that I have a religion. I do practice, like, I do have like spiritual practices like mindfulness. And it's not a deal breaker for me.
You know what? I am not surprised. I figured you would be like one of those one with the trees type systems. Probably like candles and
yeah, you know, I think all of the religion, and I don't have anything against them. I incorporate different aspects of different religions into my life in terms of like discipline, and I think all of them are saying like be a good person. And I could be with a person, I think, of any faith, and even if they weren't a faith, if they were atheist or agnostic. I think really what I would be looking for is somebody who holds my core values. So if you were agnostic and you held my core values, then we're good.
Steph wants to know, could we be with a devil worshiper? The answer is absolutely no. Going to hell can be second. Going to hell can be so
now, are you talking to someone that worships the devil or someone that practices Satanism?
Oh, I don't even know.
It's a difference.
The combination of both.
Well, they're two different things. Because most practicing Satanists are actually, I want to make sure I said this correctly, they're atheists, but use the title as kind of a way to come together. And of course, someone that worships Satan worships Satan. So,
you know, I wonder though, and you probably think I'm weird, but you know how like when you're having sex and a woman's screaming out the Lord, does a Satan worshiper, does she like yell out Lucifer when you doing her?
No, she says, "Oh shit."
Nah, she probably say God. Nah, they God. They think God.
All right, here we go. This is another religious question. Number 4. Could you be the first lady of a church? All right, so we're gonna start off with, I believe it was Aaron. What do you think?
Look at my same face. I say yeah. I think women. I think that's cool. Like,
okay. What about you, Josh?
At first, I thought, could I be? And then I remembered women answer the question. I say no.
I say no too. That's too much pressure.
You know, 85% of the ladies asked in this said no, which is so funny. Like you said, too much scrutiny. I'm talking about even women who are churchy, go to church every week in the usher board. They say no to this, which is very interesting. I've asked that question quite a bit, and a lot of people they say they don't want that scrutiny. It says, "Am I churchy? I go to church quite a bit." I don't know if you're churchy though. I wouldn't say churchy, Steph. But yeah, so many women wouldn't want to be that, which is kind of interesting. That, you know, because there's a lot that goes with it, positive, right? You are the first lady. You know, you are the most important lady in the church, I guess, by definition, right? You're the pastor's wife. You know, you get a VIP parking space. You know, right, right. You know, everybody kisses your butt when you're the first lady. They may talk about you behind your back, but at least to your face, they kiss your butt. So, but there's way more to being the first lady at my church. Oh, okay. So I find it interesting that so many women say they would not. I wonder if Angie in the house, because you know, that'd be interesting.
Well, because it's not just
that's her name.
It's not just based on your religion. You're in a lot of ways it's a political figure. You're held up in this position. Is a lot of diplomacy involved. You're held up in a position. It's a position to hold. It's a job. It's not just based on your belief. And then there's this whole image thing, and it's just too much pressure.
Yeah, you're hiding. Yeah, and you can't you can't be like twerking at the club. Right. You know, you can't.
And I never read anywhere in any book where any religious higher power had anything against twerking.
Nowhere. Is that what you're gonna say when you get caught?
Yes, twerking is good for the soul.
In 3 Timothy, it said, work in while you're working for the Lord. All right, here we go. So number 5, is it important that a potential mate share the same views as yours on politics? All right, so we're going to start off with you, Aaron. What do you think most ladies say?
I don't even know the answer to that. I don't know. I'm going to say yes.
Okay, what about you, Josh?
I'm going to say no.
No?
And I said no.
And with 60%, the lady said no, it's not important, which is she said yeah. And I agree with Steph. Like, for me, it's important because I'm not saying we have to be 100% in alignment, but we can't be way off. You know what I mean? Like, because that's important to me. That goes to the core of who you are. So, you know, I don't want to be with a coonette. You know, that's not something that I want to be with. You know,
that is not a thing, Kente. Coonette is not a thing.
You know, I can. You know, I want to do that. So for me, you know, the way that we view politics, when I say politics, I don't even mean just Democrat or Republican, but I mean like just, you know, the way that we see political issues. Like I said, we're going to have some disagreement, but we can't be so far off. That's where I would go wrong. So I don't know. So it makes me wonder with you, Aaron, is that something that you care about? The way that a woman sees things as far as politically?
Yeah, I care about that. Yeah. You was right. It does go. It does speak to your core. Like, I can't be over here Black Lives Matter, and you like, I think all lives matter. It's like, whoa, what I get myself into? I'm gonna need to rethink some things. So yeah, it now that I'm really thinking about it, yeah, it does. We have to be on the same page about that. And do you mean political as just like who you voting for too? Like, is that a part of it?
It can be a part of it. I mean, I don't think I could be with a Republican. You know, that would be a little bit.
Why not though? Like, I could think I could be with a Republican as long as she's like a Republican for the right reasons. Like, you can't just be a Republican for strictly because you think they're gonna go with taxes. Like, you gotta be down for the cause.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that. No, she can be fine. If she a fine coon Republican, I definitely, because that coon gene will transfer over. You gotta be like really careful who you make kids with, because you know you don't want that to happen. So what about you, Josh? Do you care if your lady the way she swings as far as politics?
Well, I have two points real quick. One, I'm kind of witnessing what politics can do to a relationship because my father is a Trump supporter and my mother is a Clinton supporter. So it has been very interesting watching them over the last few months. And it's at times it can be a little bit heated, but even though they're as far apart as they are in their beliefs, because they are who they are, they can still crack jokes about each other's candidates and have a good laugh together. And two, I want to address a point in something someone said in the chat that said there are two types of people: all lives matter and Black Lives Matter. I want to add a third type of person, the nihilist, that thinks no lives matter. So just wanted to put that out there. But as far as my own personal beliefs about politics, it's not so much a major deal for me. I like to think of myself as a little caught up on my reading when it comes to these things. Personally, I don't know. I don't think I could ever be with someone that doesn't have, like you guys mentioned, the same core beliefs. And I think that's more about social issues rather than how we should spend our tax money on things like that. So I think when it comes to politics, I'm more worried about what my partner's social stances would be than their fiscal.
Mm-hmm. And when you're saying partner, you mean the woman that you're you're in a relationship with.
That's what everyone keeps telling me is going to happen one day. So we are going on major assumptions here.
When dudes say partner, just so there's no kind of confusion.
Do you even PC, bro? Do you PC,
what?
bro?
PC.
Huh?
Politically correct?
Yeah.
Politically correct.
No, I'm not PC.
Okay.
No, not at all. Every regime know that. What about you? It matters to you, though, right?
What is that?
It matters to you as far as political.
I agree with Josh in terms of social issues matter. And at the very least, I feel like we have to feel like the same things are important, even if we don't agree with the way that we approach how we fix those particular things. Like, we both got to, at the very least, agree that this is an issue. And you might solve it through this means, and I might solve it through that means.
I can dig it. All right, so here we go. Number 6. Is it important to have the approval of friends and family of the person you date? Okay. So we will start, I believe it's Aaron. Is it important? So what do you think lady said?
I don't know. I've been wrong for that. I would say no. I don't know. I clearly don't know what women want.
You got a few more years. You're 25.
What about you, Josh? He said no.
Well, he's gotten every question wrong, so I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, that's a smart man.
What about you?
What was it again?
Is it important to have the approval of friends and family of the person that you date?
No.
All right. Actually, you were right, Aaron. 55% of the league said no. And that which is interesting because it's one of those things where it's probably not that cut and dry, but of course for sake, because people are saying, well, what about a third option where it's like a little bit of yes, a little bit of no? No, I want you to make a commitment to one thing or the other. Whether it's more about what you're leaning towards, right? Here's the thing with me. Ideally, I want people to like who I'm with, right? I want my mother, and my family to, But I mean, is that the end all be all? Because sometimes they don't like who you're with for weird reasons, and it may not be something like it may not be necessarily something that's good for you, or or maybe they got something in their head. But then also too, a lot of times a third party will see things in a mate that's destructive that you can't see because you're caught up in the magic of this person. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those weird things. So ideally, like I said, you want mama to like the woman you with, right, Aaron?
Yeah, I want it. Like we all want that to happen, but I mean, it doesn't matter because you gotta understand. Let's just use this as an example. Rasheen's father probably won't like the beginning. Probably just because that's his baby girl. That's his girl. Like, and if he do, he's not gonna say it. He's still gonna be a dick and do all the fathering things. Like, right in the beginning, I mean, no, but down the line, yeah, I kind of think down the line it's gonna matter. It's like, yo, why my mom don't like you? Like, what she see that I don't see? Like, none of my sisters like you. Not one of them. Now they don't never want to take you on the shopping. They don't never want you to come on the family. But you ain't like why? Like at some point, I think it's going to matter. But in the beginning, it's like whatever. Shut up, ma. I'm about to go on a date. Right.
And I'm gonna say something about what I think about Rasheem and that. But what about you though? Is it important for you, Josh, to have the approval of your friends and family?
I agree with just about everything that was just said. It goes back to the topic we were talking about before. At what point do you bring this person around your friends and family? And how long do they have to be around your friends and family before you think what they say is important? At some point, yes, I think it is important that your friends and family approve of who you're with, because you don't want to be separated from your friends and family because, you feel like you can't bring this person around them. But
and be careful. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it bring up a point you made earlier. Once your friends and family are around this person long enough to really get a sense of how they are, if they're not digging this person, like you said, they could be seeing all of the warning signs and all of the red flags that you're too blinded to see because you're in love.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And also be careful that you can poison the well unfairly of the person that you're with. What I mean by that is that sometimes what'll happen is you and your mate will get in an argument or something, right? So
tell your mom.
and then so before and it's really your point of view of what happened. So it's probably not a very fair, accurate description of what happened, more than likely. So now you done told your homies, you done told your brother, your sister, your mother, whoever you confide in. So now all they got is a bunch of bad information. So, you know what I'm saying? So now they're like, so they start looking like, I don't like her. She, but really, it's probably more than likely not fair. So be careful when you are sharing some of the things that happen in your relationship, because.
Great point. Because I remember, right? I tell you, and I always tell this story, but when, long story short, I cut a chick off. Woke up the next morning, windows busted out. It was lipstick on my car. It was paint on my car, and this wasn't no cheap car, right? So I called my sister because that's just what I do. I called my sister. She did this, and she's like, "Well, what did you do?" Like, huh? Like, what you do? Like, she got mad at me, and that's just going back to what Kente says. Like, she knew I did something to get all it. Like, you always gotta have that one person. But when I call my mother like, where's she at? Da-da-da. I don't like it. I never liked her. Da-da-da. That's because I was telling my mother my side of the story all the time. Right. But my sister knew, like, Aaron, you did all this to that girl. What you got is a little bit compared to what she got.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's so funny is too, you'll be dating somebody, and then when it's all over, then that's when everybody will say, well, I never liked her. But it's, like I said, it could be because you poisoned that well. Like, she never really had a shot, anyway. So, but I think though Rasheem is the kind of woman that I think the families be liking Rasheem. Huh? She seemed like that. You probably
at Christmas. Where was Rasheem at?
Right.
Like, this my new girl.
She probably got exes. Their parents are still asking about Rasheem.
I actually am still friends with my ex's moms and sisters.
That's a no-go. That's a no-go.
That is terrible. See, that's why you got to wait before you.
That's why you got to wait.
Yeah,
it
cut
doesn't
that off.
interfere in any of their relationships.
Well, Steph says I don't really want to meet a guy's family. Well, sure, yeah. See, we're in agreement on that, Steph. All right, number 7. Can women and men be friends if one of the two really wants a relationship? We kind of talked about it a little bit on the Friend Zone show a couple of weeks ago. So I believe the odd numbers go to Josh. So so can a man and woman be friends, and one of the two is like really wants more, like wants a relationship? So what do you think most women say?
I think most women said oh my goodness, this is difficult.
You don't know either.
Yes.
What about you, Aaron?
No.
And Rasheem.
So I'm trying to separate my experiences from most women's experiences and just like go with what the survey would say. So I guess I would have to say no. I think most women would say no.
62% said no. No. And you know what? Because like I said, we kind of talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but it is difficult because if one person really doesn't want that, they really want more, then how you really be friends? Because if you're friends, right, you can come to your friend for advice in a relationship. And what kind of advice is someone who wants you gonna really give you? You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things
going back to the last question.
There's so it's been my experience is that guys have not always expressed that. So he may have an interest and I don't know. So that allows a certain level of the friendship to actually be maintained. I think it's once he says I'm interested, it makes things awkward for everyone if she's not interested. But if I don't know, and I think guys will do that. I think guys will keep that sort of thing to themselves.
Totally.
Josh is like, totally. Until they're pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, could you be friends with somebody, Josh, but you really want more? And she's already rebuffed you.
I was the defending friend zone champion in high school. That's all I was. Oh, that sounds really sad. Let's say I've been in the friend zone enough times and have maintained actually really good friendships because, boundaries.
You keep them boundaries. Now, have you ever, I don't know, have you guys ever dated somebody and you saw that they're supposed to be friends, but you could tell, oh, dude really wanted more, and you tried to tell her and she's all like, no, that's my brother. Have you ever, has that ever happened? Aaron?
Oh, you mean like you could see another dude like trying to step on your toes like that?
Yeah, like you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate them.
It's just like
that's some.
I say it.
That's some bitch.
I say it. Yeah, that's some Drake type shit. Like, right? That's
Yeah.
I can't. I was my ex girlfriend in high school. She had a friend named James, and I probably get mad. You can see my face. I'm mad because he always used to send the texts, says, "Good morning, beautiful. Hey, how's your day?" Like, hey, we all go to the same school, so I can catch you. Like, you ain't just gonna be flirting with my girl now. Like, I understand. Like, sometimes you might, whatever you. How can I put it? I just sound so bad. I understand sometimes people flirt, right? Because I'm a big flirt, so I understand it. But if, like he said, there's no boundaries. Like, and how do I know that you're not going to let somebody overstep that boundary? How do I know you're not going to overstep that boundary? So no, you're not about to be friends with somebody who clearly thinks you're attractive. I'm not going to be somebody who thinks I'm attractive. If I think a girl is attractive, I'm going to tell her. I'm not going to sit back and one day she's just going to see me looking at her with all the love in the world. I'm not going to hope for that. So no, we're not going to be friends. We're not going to talk. We're not going to do none of that. It's either I like you, do you like me, yes or no? And if you say no, I deuces. Like, we ain't friends.
You know what though? You said something, Aaron, that made me feel so old.
What?
Because I almost corrected you, then I forgot you're 25. Because you said that he used to text in high school, and I'm like, there was no texting in high school. Oh wait,
There was pagers though. There was pagers.
Yeah,
he used to send Morse code. He used to send Morse code in high school. No, yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, there was no texting in high school. That came a little later.
Nah, ain't nobody like I can't see it, and maybe that just because of the type of person you are. I'm not going to leave that up to chance. Like, how do I know Rasheem is not the next Mrs. Gowans? I'm not going. I'm using like an example, but I'm not going to leave something like that up to chance. No, I got to go approach it. I got to go tell her. So, and if she says, "Hey, I don't like you that way," or "I don't look at you like that," you're my brother. I got friends on. I'm having to chalk that one up to the game, but at least I know where we stand. At least I know where. I don't know how to say it. Whatever.
No, you're right. Yeah. All right. So this one is first to Aaron. All right. This is we're changing up a little bit. Number 8. Should the man always pay on the first date? What do you think women say?
Yes.
All right. What about you, Josh?
No.
Okay. And what did your people say?
You put always?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No. Okay. 55%. They said yes. The man should always pay. And then someone left a comment. It says it's nice if he doesn't. He must find other ways to show that he's generous. Aw, whoever. I want to know who wrote that. Aw, you're right. All right, so I'm one of them. I pay when I go on the date. Right, I'm that dude. Right. She said she's dumb. Oh shit! All right, but I'm one of those guys who do pay when I go out with a lady, apparently not every guy feels that way. So I've heard. So so what is your take on it? Should you always pay as the man first date, Aaron?
Yes, you can always pay on the first date. And again, well, that goes to the level of, that goes to the quality of man you are. That has nothing to do with how much you make. You could be broke, but if you go out on a date, you better pay for it. Even if she invites you on a date, because I know a lot of guys like to use it as a loophole. Well, she says she's gonna take me. No, you better pay for the first date. From what I feel, if you don't pay, it lowers the respect the woman has for you. And you ain't open the door, you didn't this, and you didn't pay. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to put you in the friend zone, buddy.
And no Dutch.
Nah, yeah, no. Oh my God, I hate that. It's no Dutch.
You know,
It's no Dutch.
you never did the. All right, I had the salad and the pork.
He's not about to split up the check. We're not about to get 2 separate checks. Kente, let me tell you a side thing. If me and you went out, it's either you gonna get the check or I'm gonna get the check. We're not going to. I had 2 wings, and you gave me no. It's either you gonna get it or I'm gonna get it. So no Dutch.
The thing that makes me curious about that question is I would like to know how many women responded to that and at the same time said that the man's finances are the least important.
I know, right? That'd be a good little breakdown. I wish they allowed you to do that. But yeah. So, what about you, Josh? Are you you answered? You thought the women said no, but are you a guy that pays for the first date, or are you old school?
Well, first of all, I thought maybe that there were more independent women out there than I guess. We know,
ain't that
whatever. But as far as can you get back on to me when it actually becomes like a relevant question to me?
Oh, man. All right. So, but Rasheem, you expect it though, right?
Listen. I'm gonna tell you this. Honestly, I don't think that the guy necessarily has to or always, but I do expect it only because it's always been the case. And if it's not going to be the case, then for me, because I expect it, it's something that I would need articulated before. Like I would need to know beforehand because I expect it. I'm not going to be prepared. So yeah.
It seems like you've had a good little ride there before you got married. I know guys, they come correct when they get.
I think most women have had the experience where guys pay. I don't think I'm unique in that regard.
I've heard a lot of women say that the guy looked at them when the bill came. So I've heard that. So not every woman gets that treatment.
I think most do.
Rasheem, I'm telling you, it ain't.
I like from talking to the older people around me. It's like, okay, it's a perspective kind of thing. What you've been through determines that answer. Like, are we going to go Dutch? Are you going to pay? Like, I've actually been told by older women, like, if I go on a date, I always keep money because you never know. It's like, damn, it's that hard out here. It's like, is the struggle real like that? It's like, come on.
One time I went on a date, and I just like a first date, right? And I didn't have any cash, so I only had my credit card. And I just got paid that day, right? And it got declined.
Ooh.
And, so, I'm like, I did the whole run it again. And, it kept getting declined, right? So the woman, she was real cool. She's like, oh, don't worry, I got it. I'm like, wait a minute. I know I got money, right? So, yeah, oh no, right? So I'm like, I know I got money, right? And she's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, right? So I called the bank, and I had all this money in my account. So what happened was, because I had made a charge that wasn't normal or whatever, they put a hold on your account. They put a hold on your card. It's funny how they do that when there ain't no fuckery going around with your account. But let something really happen. Then they're like, oh, they didn't step in for that, right? So what I did though, I went, had them take care of it, and then I went to the ATM and got the money out. I was give it back to her, right? And she's like, oh no, you don't have to do that. I understand, So definitely though, that was kind of embarrassing. So, but you know what? I always make sure I got cash though.
And I also think first dates are different from in relationships. Like, although guys have always paid on first dates, when I've gotten into relationships, I've taken guys that I've dated out on a date where I treated in a relationship. Yeah,
that's a lot different.
Yeah, well, I think I mean, when we're in a relationship, it's like, I want to do something special for you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that sort of thing. So that has happened where I paid.
And
just want to put that out.
It's the gentleman's way. It's like that. I feel that is what's supposed to happen. That is not something. How can I say this? You're supposed to try to impress a woman on the first date. That's the point of going out. It's like, all right, now you're supposed to impress her, put your good shirt on, your good shoes, your good pants, and pay for the meal. It's like, don't go overboard. We ain't going filet mignon and all that, but like, take her somewhere where you can afford. You might need to go to Chevy's or Applebee's. Like, stay away from Chris, but you're supposed to pay.
Has anybody seen that show, Atlanta?
I haven't seen it.
Oh man, there's this great scene. Steph's seen it, where the main character, played by Donald Glover, is on a date with his lady, but he only has a little bit of money, and the waitress is like upselling, and he's he's like praying that it don't go over his budget, you know. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Listen, I know the struggle be real for guys, because I feel like it's been my experience, at the very least, that dating, it's a chance that she may not even really like you. You know what I mean? Like, it's time, money, energy, effort invested, and it doesn't necessarily always reap the outcome that you want. So I get that in terms of dating, I feel like women get the better end of it.
You had a charming life there, Rasheem. Every guy pays. Every guy.
That's typical. I hope that if there's a question on there where you ask them, because and I think this kind of correlates in terms of, like, if women think that guys should pay on the first date, I bet they probably feel that way because that's been most of their experience.
Every guy that wants to date Rasheem, they're like, I will gladly pay.
Definitely.
I would gladly pay.
I'm done. Next question. We'll move on.
Question. Is it odd that I find it odd that anybody would really go out of their way to do something to impress someone?
You think it's odd?
Yes, that's odd. Yeah, I think that's odd.
I mean,
it's like, Joshua, it's like when you go for a job interview. You wear your nice clothes. You are bragging about yourself, saying how awesome you are. I think it's the same thing in terms of you going on a date. Like, you're kind of interviewing for the position in their life.
I just don't feel the same.
No.
Just like, yo, you're gonna meet me where I'm at.
I am who I am. Period.
McDonald's.
I don't change myself for anybody.
Oh,
well, I should say not anymore.
You that dude, huh?
Yeah, he just said, look, you gonna get whatever we going there.
I'm a dig
to the Ponderosa. We going to the buffet.
I am not going to change from one date to the next.
I'm going to dig in my nose at the dinner table on the first date. You know how.
Wait, Josh, what'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I said I am not the person that would change from one date to the next. Okay. First is going to be the same as the 100th, as far as who I am. Well, there's that whole growing with someone in the relationship and blah, 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 blah. But you get what I'm saying, right? That the core person I am is I'm not doing anything for the sole purpose of trying to put a facade and hide my flaws.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I'm going to go dress like a slob, but, I never do.
Couldn't you say you could still be the best you? Like, it's not like it's not you. You just showing the best you? No?
That is an excellent choice of words. Yeah, I think
but that's not accurate. I'll tell you something that Derek said to me, and one of the things he was concerned about.
Your husband.
Yeah. Was interesting. Whenever I refer to him, I call him Derek. Whenever he refers to me, even with people who know my name, he says my wife. And I'm like, I have a name. Anywho. one of the things that he said to me was he was concerned about keeping up, starting doing something he wasn't going to be able to keep up long term, and he wanted to see me several more times on several more dates. So it was just like I don't want to do all of this right now because I'm not going to be able to keep this up for the next 5 days. So I mean, today I can understand and do that. Like I don't want to be I don't want to perform because I'm not going to be able to keep up with performance. If that's the thing.
Oh yeah, I know what he's talking about.